Hey, what is going on, crypto people? EthGate has become a national security issue. What the wide world? What is going on right now? Wow, scandalous is not the word. It's beyond that. It's become a national security issue. We're going to get into that. Listen, the market, I don't know. It's just doing what it does, fam. The market is doing what the freaking market does. We'll go over the numbers. If you can stomach the sideways movement, I'll share some of it with you. Interesting stuff. Look, the automated market maker drama, I think it's like it's over. It was drama. I think we cleared up some stuff yesterday. Look, there is no timeline for this XLS 30 thing. There isn't a timeline. People perhaps feeling like they were rushed because David Schwartz did a Twitter Spaces is just, that's on you. That's what we call a you problem. You feeling rushed because David did a space suggesting that we should pass it. Doesn't change any timeline. If you feel like it's necessary to get some tests and retests done, then do them. Vitze Wen said there's no official timeline. Why the concern? Do your test and do your retesting. That's the word on the street. We'll cover a couple of things from that as well. Look, somebody's out there trying to put out the drama thing, but it feels like it's just drama. It's kind of what it's feeling like. Even though it may be substantiated, the tit for tat, the back and forth, you didn't do the hooks, so we're not doing this. Apparently, that's not even coming from the dev community. Apparently, it's just coming from people in the community who wanted to see hooks go through, apparently. So anyhow, listen, the U.S. dollar is in trouble, baby. 17%. It's lost 17% of its purchasing power in the last 3 years. Well, it was already at 90-something% loss in purchasing power since the 30s and 40s. How do you add another 17% onto that? You ever wonder why I feel like you're making more money, but you feel like you're still just not getting ahead? You ever feel that way? I remember when I had a job, I remember thinking, like, what? Like, I'm making this money, but it feels like I'm making a whole lot less. I remember when I was right around like 170, 180, somewhere around there, I remember thinking like, it just felt like 85. Well, I was making like 85K. Like, it was just very odd. It was a very odd feeling. 17% loss in purchasing power. That's just not great. The bottom line is the average person is in trouble because they are not keeping up with the debasement of the dollar, which is about 15% loss every single year. So if you're not getting a 15 to 20% raise that you get, what's going on right now? You're not up. If the assets that you hold aren't doing that every year, you're not up. Some would argue that's why you dollar cost average into Bitcoin. Bitcoin ain't messing around at 15% per year. Bitcoin's like 45 to 55% per year gain. I'm just saying. I know we're waiting for those alt to win moon, but per year, per annum, if we have to deal with 3 year to 4 year bear markets, that's 60%, 15% per. That compounds. The alts are going to go down 90%, keyless. Keyless. The alts are going to go 80 to 90% down. You're holding on to them. Where's your net? It's just really math, really. It's just really math. Where's your net? Raoul Paul said it. You're not creating net worth. True story. I would highly encourage checking out that video, Exponential Age. It's in the mastermind group. Look, you're not creating net worth. That's what we're here, right? To create that generational net worth. I'm doing a little segment of my mastermind we're going to do on Wednesday. I'll be able to do live. We got the house to ourselves. Family has moved on to the next destination. They're actually in Vegas hanging out. And so we got the spot. We can do a live stream. So I'll do a live stream for the group for sure. But listen, that's some crazy stuff right there. Again, I'll go over the numbers. If you can stomach it, Keyless, if you can stomach the sideways movement, I'll share it with you. And have we forgot about XLS 38D and this cross-chain bridge? Have we forgot about that? Because we're in the midst of the XLS 30 automated market maker drama. What's happened? JP Morgan quintuples their net profit. Quintuples. But yeah, old money is good with you. They're good with you. Yeah, they want you to win. Quintuples? What number is that? Is that 5 or 6? What is quintuple? Is that 5? Is that 5x or 6x? I don't even know anymore. I think it's 5. How are you 5xing? Has your portfolio 5x? And I bet you that's a quarterly profit. That's a quarterly profit, I bet. I bet. We'll get into that. We'll talk about that some more as well. Look, what's her name? Hester Peirce was in the news. Apparently she was on Andrew's channel. What's the Andrews guy's channel? On CNBC. She was Sorkin. She was on his channel. Jackson Knox. What's going on? My guy says U.S. dollar is pawpaw money. Indeed, bro. That dirty, nasty fiat. Who needs it? He says pawpaw money. I love it. All right, let me do this chat. Make this chat live. We got a lot to cover, so I'm really going to get into it with you guys. Got tons to cover. Mark Phillips laying it on us, man. EthGate has become national security. That's heavy. Heavy. We'll get into a teeny bit of this AMM drama, then we're going to move on from it. Right? Because ultimately, the AMM is a new innovation. It's genius in motion. Check out my shorts. If you haven't seen my shorts, I've been talking about that AMM. Crazy, crazy. Genius innovation. Let's go over these numbers real quick. Billionaire H and Pookie are in the building. We appreciate you guys being here for sure. Let's get into it. You guys said you could stomach the numbers, so I'm going to go over them. You said it. You said you could stomach the sideways movement, so I'm going to cover them. I'm going to cover it. Let's see here. What's going on with this thing? Why does it always do that? According to CoinGecko, that one screw coin market cap. According to CoinGecko, baby, the total cryptocurrency market cap is 1.22 trillion. Let me refresh that again. Well, I bet you that Bitcoin dominance, there it is. 1.22 trillion is the total cryptocurrency market cap. Bitcoin dominance is at 49.9%. It's creeping. It's creeping into January numbers before we can even begin to be hopeful. That's what I see. To even think about being hopeful. Look at that. Bitcoin's trading at $31,000. How about that, Keyless? Billionaire H, Bitcoin is trading at 31,000, baby. What the world? Ethereum is trading at $1,694. XRP is trading at 53 cents. Tell me this is not sideways movement. 7-day, Bitcoin's up 10%. Ethereum on the 7-day is up 7.5%. Solana is up 25% on the 7-day. This, to me, is just sideways movement. How can it not be sideways movement? It's just like between 25 and 31,000 for about 16, 18 months. How's that not sideways movement? Everybody's hopeful for the alt season. It ain't happening with Bitcoin dominance is only at 40.9%, 49.9%. It's just not. Shout out to the swing traders. I hope you guys are doing it. Hope you're making some money. I hope you're turning that dirty, nasty fiat into some big crypto gains. But it is what it is. Look, the total cryptocurrency market cap was over 3 trillion, which means we're down about 2 trillion. We're down about 2 trillion. Yeah, it's not great. Let me go over some stuff real quick. I'm a rapid fire here. Flip the Chain shared Brad Garlinghouse expects $10 trillion to come on the XRPL from the custody digital asset market. That's not what he said. He just said that the custody digital asset market, custody, was going to reach a $10 trillion market in itself by 2030. Didn't say it was going to come on the ledger. Well, look, we got a big time acquisition for Flip the Chain, but that's not what he said there. So with getting Medico, Ripple has a big time, they got their foot in the door, right? You know what I mean? They got a stake in the market. They have an opportunity to gain market share with this acquisition of Medico. They have an opportunity to gain market share in what would be a $10 trillion market by 2030. Congrats to Ripple. And when I give you that look like that, it's like, what does that mean for us? So apparently this dude, Schwamos was kind of stating and hinting towards some drama and suggesting that there's some tit for tat. Look, there's devs, there's validators, and there's community members. They all have some opinions, but the only ones that get to vote on some stuff are validators or devs that are validators. In the end, it is what it is. So there's no timeline from my understanding on this XLS30 automated market maker. Vote. We're early in the game. I think someone posted on X that it's about 100 days on average before a proposal really gets through the motions. So go test, retest, do a lot of retesting and stuff you guys want to do. I don't know why you felt rushed. I don't know why you felt like you weren't going to be able to test and retest. Or why you felt like you could only rely on Ripple's test. I don't know why you felt that way. I'm discovering there is no timeline. You don't have until October 31st, 25th, 28th. There's no timeline. So I'm not sure why you're feeling rushed. I don't know why you feel like you're up in your feelings because David Schwartz did a post and did an AMM Spaces about should be voting yes on this. So I don't know why, but I think that stuff is over. And look, this is one of the things that I wanted to share with. No, that's not it. I don't need to share that. We all know the SEC has no shot at winning nada. Flip the Chain says expect something important to happen between the SEC and Ripple in the next morning. This is old because I think it's kind of happened. This is something, again, I want to talk a little bit of macro here as well. Lynn Alden, big time. I don't know what you would call her, a macro investor or analyst, but she's really, really smart. That I can tell you. This is what she says here. A lot of people are caught up with the bullishness on a potential Bitcoin ETF. Meanwhile, FinCEN is proposing to apply Section 311 of the Patriot Act against basically all types of crypto privacy, including on non-custodial methods. It's just why this is why I'm so alarmed at the people who just think, well, CBDCs, they can stop your access to your money anyway. So why are you worried about a CBDC? I'm worried about a CBDC because of this right here. Privacy. There ain't no monitoring of my, I got, $50 in my pocket. There ain't no monitoring on that. I got, a K under my pillow. There's no monitoring on that. CBDC, forget about it, baby. It's over. Like, it's over. Right? If I was that dude, I could go take some cash and go get some paraphernalia. Nobody ain't gonna know about that. What you gonna do with CBDC? You gonna go get some paraphernalia with CBDC? What about some edibles? You gonna try to get some edibles? I know some places it's cool. Some places it's not though. This is the privacy thing. It's not having access to your money. We all know they can cut us off at any time in terms of access. But if I got the cash stash, I got the cash stash. It can't stop that. Anyway, she also goes on to say here, notably, if successful, she says it's still in the proposal phase only, it would be a big extension of their mandate to apply that section to a class, quote unquote, of transactions. This is why I get alarmed at people in the digital asset space to say, well, with the CBDCs, we can do, there's so many good things we can do. Yeah, you got to have good people in place to do good things. You have to have good 3-letter alphabet groups in place to do good things. We're not in charge of 3-letter alphabet. When did you vote on a 3-letter alphabet person? Tell me when. I'm waiting. We don't have any control over that. It's a person who has control over that. This is why I say we don't need decentralization. That's not the answer. I'm not opposed to it, but that's not the answer. We need good stewardship. Tell me about the stewardship going right now in the current administration. How are you feeling about that? You feel like they're looking out for us as U.S. citizens? You feel like they have the best interests of the country in hand? I don't think so, bro. Why risk it? Why risk bad steward? Why put yourself in a position to be beholden to bad stewardship with the CBDC? Why? I don't understand it. I don't trust any of them. Not one central banker, none of them. And then I don't trust any governments in terms of being fiscally and monetarily, yeah, that's a word, responsible. They don't know what they're doing. Why do I want them monitoring my CBDC transactions? I'd like to have a little buffer in between the powers that be and the citizens. And I think that's what private stablecoins would do. Provide a buffer. Provide that buffer. I think stablecoins is a significantly superior alternative, all things considered, in a stupid CBDC. I don't get these crypto people that are excited about a CBDC. Like, I don't get it. You know, this whole idea, well, it's just going to happen anyways. I don't get that either. Now, when you're a company, you got to make a decision because you got shareholders. But as a citizen, I don't want to. I'm not interested in it. As a company, you got shareholder responsibility. Shareholders are not laying out ethical and an ethical spreadsheet checklist. I want you to check this box on carbon. I want you to check this box on green trees. I want you to check this box on, electrical. They want the box they want checked is cash flow. So I get Ripple's, I get their thing, but that ain't for me. All right. So notably, if successful, it would be a big extension of their mandate to apply that section to a class of transactions rather than to any particular custodial entity. It's not a great look. Certain types of mass slant software would become illegal slant sanction. She goes on to say, anyway, good morning. Crypto T says, does Monero solve this? No. But anyway, what does she say? It's easy to make an anonymity coin illegal or otherwise cut it off from the financial system. There it is. That would be no. Monero ain't going. It's not the answer. But just a little update from Tiffany Fong on the FTX thing. If you're kind of interested, she said, let me. I'm not going to. That's 11 minutes. I'm not going to do that. Sam Bankman-Fried asked FTX General Counsel Can Soon to brainstorm legal justifications for missing customer funds, and was told the margin trading excuse was not supported by the facts. Less than 2 weeks later, though, Sam said, screw that, and used the margin excuse on our phone call that was between her and Sam, and seems to have stuck with it. Just not a great look. Dude's in trouble. I'm not sure who put this dude in a position to do something. I don't know if he just was naive and thought he was going to be able to get over. I don't know if he felt like he's going to be good with spending 2 to 5 years in some comfy place before he gets good boy behavior and he's out. I don't know if he thought about that, because that's all I see happening. I don't care what kind of sentence they give this dude. In my opinion, we'll see. They are saying that this was a small subsection that he hurt. This no matter the value amount, this is what I believe. We'll see. Plus, he's got all kind of people in his pocket. I don't care what the sentence is. I can't see it being I can't see him physically actually being there any longer than 2 to 5 years. Especially if he's able to, like what I'm hearing, give back about $3 billion back. That's what I'm hearing. We'll see. All right, let me get into the chat. I don't want to cover that. Let me get into the chat here before I go over Krypton Rider, kind of laying some stuff down to perhaps calm some of the folks. What up? What up? Who said that? Oh, I got to stop share. Stop share. That's fair. You get back into the chat here. What's going on? OMC checked in. What's good, my friend? What's good, my friend? What's up, Siege? I made it. Yeah, appreciate you being here, bro. Kyle T. Moore is in the building. The masterminder is in the building. How are you, bro? Kyle D. Moore, did you check out that bid from in the mastermind from Raul Paul? Did you check that out? You talk about leveling up. It's next level stuff, bro. OMC says, go get the silver and gold will be their only way to have some non-CBDC. Yeah. Mr. Connector, decentralized centralization. Yeah, I hear you, my friend. We need good stewardship. I mean, we need good stewardship, man. Rodwell Nobrega is in the building. What's going on, my friend? Good to catch you, bro. Good to appreciate you checking in. Kyle T. Moore says, yes, you checked out that Raul Powell thing. I'm telling you, good stuff. If you're not in that mastermind, you want to patreon.com/GWW mastermind. Go check us out, babe. Come hang out. Kyle T. Moore said, that's true. I'm telling you, that is next level. Like, we got to get outside of the XRP community. We got to have a broader macro picture of what's going on. Otherwise, we're in rubble or Barney. Kyle T. Moore, we're in Barney during their age. That's one of my favorite lines in that movie. What do we got going on here? OMC says, we don't have any stewardship in the Congress or any other government position or state position as I see it. Most of all, no banks or financial institution have our best interests as people. 1000%. That's why I have that mantra for my outro. Old money doesn't want you to win. That's why it's there. That's why I came up with it. That's why I put it together. It's a fact. I don't like using the word elite because I don't think there's anything elite about it. So I call them old money. That's right, Kyle T. Moore. Barney Rubble. Trouble. Classic. I mean, classic from my guy. Yeah, so that's what it is right there. That's what it is, you know? What it is right there, man. Let's go over this here. I'm going to share this with you, Krypton Rider. This is the last time I'm covering this drama. Go here. Krypton Rider says, look, the drama around XLS30, which is the XRPL automated market maker, has reached an all-time high, but you still have no idea what's going on, don't you? Krypton writer. Here's a compilation of every objective argument I could find that makes current UNL validators hesitant to vote in favor of the XLS 30. The basics, if you looked at the current vote figures, you may believe they are all conspired to vote no, but that is not the case. There's no such thing as neutral vote, and all votes are either no or yes until a specific decision to vote differently is made. And they default automatically to no. Basics. So what should be the default voting behavior? According to the documentation, default vote parameters should be set to yes for bug fixes. Everything else defaults to no. So in the instance of the automated market maker, who made the decision? Devs, he's got check mark. Devs engaged PR 4294. Okay, awesome. Basics, there is no deadline for voting on the XLS 30. So don't be concerned that we will miss a crucial day. There is no deadline. I would think that the validators know that, so I'm still confused as to why they feel like they're being rushed. So confused on that one. The only way for the XLS 30 to be totally rejected is if the whole XRPL dev community at RippleX dev included decides to remove the AMM source code entirely. It's the only way. Basics. So how does one enact the automated market maker on the XRPL? To be enabled, amendments have 2 weeks of continuous support from more than 80% of the current UNL validators. Yes, votes may change. With 35 active UNL validators, we need 29 supporters, which equals 82.9%. Those are the numbers. So, first argument, amendment blocked nodes. As of this moment, there are still 206 nodes that are not up to date, although 100% of all current UNL validators are. So nodes validators. By enabling XLS 30, those 206 nodes would be blocked from further participating on the ledger. John says this, it's not about voting rights or minorities. XRPL Ledger needs sane people and a small group to make a sane decision on when votes can or should pass. If the automated market maker 1.12.0 amendment passed just now, these nodes would get blocked. What would happen to your XRP transactions? So I don't know why that matters. But in the second argument, critical path findings, which is a bug, number 4224. When clients connect to a submission node via WebSocket using pathing, the node fails due to running out of memory. Workaround does exist. The cause is unknown. Short to FOMO apparently found out that bug. Third argument, spamming and flooding the network will unintentionally badly written scripts. Will what? Spamming and flooding the network with intentionally or unintentionally bad written scripts. Historically, this has happened with trust lines. Thus, it is realistic to expect this to be an issue. Transaction throughput would be severely impacted, I should say. On Ledger shares his concern here. Given the irresponsible script history of trust lines and account generation and knowing the impact on transaction-based TPS based on lab results, the network would bulk if it was to be flooded with multi-path AMM payments. It'd be simple for a single script to flood, let alone many. That's an argument. That is a concern. On Ledger pointed it out, and I believe him to be, or them to be a validator. Front running the Ledger, we're expected, we're back to the third argument, but this time it's about front running the Ledger. A faulty script would result in an abundance of unsuccessful transactions, which we prefer to keep to a minimum. Failed transaction and fake trading volume. DEX 5. Oh, my guy's here pointing something out here. I wonder if they're validators. You know, I didn't ask them if they were validators or not. But it says here, in a nutshell, one needs to understand that a single front runner will bring the XRP ledger to a state where most other chains are, that says are in. Huge fake trading volume and unusable real and unreasonable. Huge fake trading volume and unusable for real users. Can't outline how front running works in reality, but here you as a dev know what happens when an algo runs wild because its conditions are always met. Another argument, unknowing edge cases. We say when pointed out. As far as I'm aware, concerns two types: potential corner cases considering accounts, offers, automated market makers, and how they interact are very specific exploits and other type of performance, the impact on the live ledger, and if certain transaction types are, for example, today not happening a lot. What's being done, devs discussing and researching them. For example, last Apex, several investigation-worthy things have been vented by multiple devs. These discussions still take place at several places where devs collaborate. And for performance, working on better tests, potentially proposing to limit certain operations if they indeed become too easy to use as an attack. Another argument, reliability of search security audits. That's interesting. July 11, 2023 was the first audit, 31 findings, 0 were critical or major. July 17th, a critical bug was found. It says inconsistent ledger state. So why, from a technical standpoint, should we choose to wait and give the developers a bit of breathing room? This is the thing that I'm just not getting this part here. I hope there's some dev that's listening to this and explain this to me. It says, why, from a technological standpoint, should we choose to wait and give the developers a bit of breathing room? It's just the thing I'm concerned with. I'm kind of stuck. Why are the developers feeling like they are being rushed? If there's no time frame to pass the XLS 30, are they getting calls from the people at Ripple? Like, I'm trying to get why these devs they keep bringing up this thing where they feel like they're getting rushed. I don't know what it is, but it keeps coming up. Keyless, it keeps coming up. Write about DLT and crypto, primarily about XRP and the XRP ecosystem. If this interests you, cool. Thank you, Crypto Writer, for sharing that. Again, my thing is, why are these devs saying that they are being rushed? Who's doing that? Who's rushing them? That's the thing I'm trying to understand, because I don't get where that's coming from. If you know the process, you know this process, why are you feeling rushed? Is it because community members are sounding the alarm that we can see so many no votes? Is that why you're feeling rushed? But we all understand that the thing starts as a default as no. We understand that. So who's rushing you? Why do you feel rushed? This is the thing that it just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, Wall Street Silver shares something that I want to share with you guys. The dollar has lost 17% of its purchasing power in the last 3 years. And that is if you believe the CPI is accurate. I don't believe it to be accurate at all. Most people know if it is intentionally underreporting inflation. So the loss in purchasing power is actually much more than 17%. Raoul Paul said 15%. Okay. Is your salary up 25% in the past 3 years? It's a tremendous question to ask. It's why we started Generational Wealth Wednesday. I started it because I want to come together with people who are open-minded to the fact that dollar cost averaging, for one, in Bitcoin has proven itself out. Look, we didn't chase that game. We didn't chase the dollar cost average Bitcoin game. Bitcoin's been around since 2009. But the numbers are in. We have sufficient data to suggest that it's 40 to 60% per year. What are you going to do? Argue and complain about it because it's slower technology? What are you going to do? You're going to miss out on 40 to 60% gain on your money because it's slower technology, because it can't meet it payments, because Lightning Network blows. You're going to miss out on 40 to 60% of your money. Billionaire H, is that what you're telling me? Like, Pookie, are you saying that you're going to miss out on 40 to 60% because it's inferior technology? When the facts are this, if your salary is not up 25% in the last 3 years, and I would just say per year, Wall Street Silver says, is your salary up 25% in the past 3 years? If not, you are probably poor. I mean, did we come up with this monetary system policy? We didn't come up with this. That's just, whoa, that's not a great look. We didn't come up with that. Generational Wealth Wednesday Mastermind is increasing the cash flow because the playbook is out, fam. It is what it is. The bull run is 30 to 120 days. How much are you going to make in that time? It's 30 to 120 days. Bull run. It comes and then it's done, baby. And the bear market's 3 to 4 years. It's out. We have the records. We have the history books. What are you doing during those 3 to 4 years? If you got to 100 grand during a bull run, what you do with that money? If you got to $500,000 on your blockfolio, what you do with that money? Did you do anything with that money? If you got to $1 million, $2 million, what happened? And we got to have strategies for those 3 and 4 year plays. 3 to 4 year bear runs, right? I'm not covering that anymore. I think it's just drama. Like I said, look, my main thing is, why are these devs suggesting that they are being rushed? It doesn't make sense to me. Mark Phillips points out this EthGate. Let's get into this one. This is the big one. Then we're going to get to the chat. John Deaton put this out, and Mark Phillips, my guy, responded, reposted. When the XRP case was filed, says John Deaton, on Clayton's last day, Jay Clayton's last day in charge at the SEC, I immediately pointed out the massive conflict of interest by him voting to bring an enforcement action against Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson. Because Brian Costello said something and John Deaton responded to that. This is important. China's new might aligned with Russia and Iran partnership is aimed at the changing world order. The changing world order. The SEC's role in hiding Chinese executives like Neil Shen from Sequoia, and other U.S. capital market crimes has played a significant role in normalizing China's fraud. No one likes to say the C word. I'll say it. And John Deaton shows the conflict, the massive conflict of interest. That's why we say on this channel, those people like Jay Clayton, Joseph Lubin, Vitalik Buterin, those people who would sacrifice their country for personal profits. One of Clayton's partners at Sullivan Cromwell, Patrick Baraducci, says John Deaton, was deputy general counsel at Consensus and co-chair of the Brooklyn Project, which claimed to be building an alliance with the SEC related to crypto. Other lawyers from Sullivan and Cromwell also went to work at Consensus. But Sullivan and Cromwell not only represented Ethereum's Joseph Lubin's Consensus, but also broke with the deal when Consensus acquired JP Morgan's Quorum and the JPM coin. Clayton and him, and along with him, his partners, Lemming Shen, brought the Alibaba IPO to market. Alibaba, what are they into? I would make the argument, payments. Simpson and Thatcher's Chen went to Alipay. Payments. Clearly, you can see XRP and the JPM coin were competitors. But XRP and ETH battled each other for the number 2 spot behind Bitcoin for years. In January of 2018, XRP briefly overtook ETH as the world's second largest crypto. One can definitely argue Alipay was a competitor to Ripple as well. That's what we've been saying on the channel. They are not concerned with Shiba Inu. They are not concerned with Dogecoin. They were concerned with that behemoth of a monster that is Ripple, with groundbreaking technology, and who was the steward of the greatest digital asset ever created, XRP, and its associated blockchain, the XRPL, which happens to move anything of value in 3 to 5 seconds for less than a penny. Tell me who doesn't benefit from that, except for the competitors who don't want it to be around. Vitalik hooking up with the people from the nation that is not a friend is not hearsay. It is factual. Truth Labs brought it to our attention, and so has Stephen Neryaw. It is a real deal. And unfortunately, in the world that we live in, that nation over there, there ain't no democracy going over there. You don't own anything. You are doing stuff to stay alive and to show that you are dedicated and committed to that party. That's it. So if you're fortunate, they're going to let you get this little lifestyle going on over there, make you feel comfortable. But ultimately, if they decide you made the wrong move, you're in trouble. And as soon as they want to take your thing, they take it. Just ask Jack Ma. Dude became a billionaire, multi-billionaire, and they took it. They just took his thing. OMC, they just took, the bro built something massive, and they just up and took it. But he says, but I digress. Never underestimate the influence China has deliberately had on our financial markets. Again, this is coming from a federal prosecutor who, by the way, in his career, never lost a case. This comes from the same John Deaton who strategically brought XRP holders into a case that made a significant difference in the SEC versus Ripple case. He has a good intuitive instinct about him. He can smell the BS as well. It's a good trace to have. He says, but I digress. Never underestimate the influence China has deliberately had on our financial markets. We have regulators like Clayton and Gensler who continue to turn a blind eye to the CPC's infiltration into our financial infrastructure. He said, for example, I was at CVS this morning in the United States, and it says Alipay accepted here. So you got a good old US of A company who turned down JP Morgan and their 14 to 16 people that they sent to the office, turned down this, yeah, you want to participate in the financial markets? We want about half of what you got. They turned them down. So JP Morgan went looking elsewhere. And that was to Ethereum and Joseph Lumen. It's as plain as simple as day. That's what happened. Because this is what JP Morgan does. Gary Gensler said it himself. He said it himself. He said the Wall Street bankers are the incumbents. They'll let you play if you give up something. He said it himself. Why would he know that? Because he was at Goldman's. He knows the game. Ripple said no. Chris Larson, most likely, perhaps Brad was there as well. They said no. Like, nah, 50%. 50%, nah. Now, others have hooked up with JP Morgan. It happens all the time. BlackRock is hooking up with JP Morgan. Is BlackRock in trouble? BlackRock's not in trouble. They hooked up with JP Morgan. Did they need money or feel threatened? No. People hook up with JP Morgan for profit. Ripple was like, we're not doing that. We're not. Jamie, is Jamie still there? I bet you that's the first thing they asked. I bet you the first thing they asked is, Jamie still there? That would have been the first thing I would ask. Is that diamond dude still there? No, we're good. That dude, come on already. Jody, what's going on, my friend? MB is in the building. How are you? I bet you the first question they asked is when JP Morgan showed up, this is a true story, showed up at the doors of Ripple, about 12 to 16 people. This is a true story. This is not hearsay. What do you think they just wanted to go to lunch together? Why do you think they show up? The first question I would ask is Jamie still there? That dude is no good. Let me show you about their profits over at JP Morgan. It's kind of disgusting. Meanwhile, there it is here. That's from 2021. Right now, that's from 2021. JP Morgan quintuples net profits. Right now, they're at 2 to 3 billion in profits. 2 to 3 billion in profits a quarter. Pookie, a quarter. Meanwhile, we got all kind of crazy madness going on. All Jamie Dimon has to do is give up 1/4 of profits, and we could solve homelessness and hunger in this country with just 1/4 of their profits. $2 to $3 billion. And profit, not in revenue, in profit. Not a great look, man. Not a great look. But have we forgot about this XLS 38D? Don't forget about it. Let me see if I can find it. Share this one last time. Share the sound. Take a listen to David Schwartz here.
They will be able to do everything that the XLS 38D is an amendment to support cross-chain bridges. This enables interoperability between different networks. The XLS 38D proposed standard will allow tokens from one blockchain to be locked in an account on the XRP ledger, while an equivalent amount of tokens is issued on another blockchain, increasing the use cases and adoption of the XRP ledger. The team has made design changes to XLS 38D to support multiple bridges per door account for libraries, explorers, witness servers, and to improve user experience. I want to take a minute to explain why I think these cross-chain bridges are important and why sidechains are important. The XRP Ledger main network is great for payments. It's the home of XRP, and you can use it for other things too. But the idea that everybody will be able to do everything that they might want to do on a single layer one is just unrealistic. No matter how much it scales, there's going to be a limit. And there's going to be people who are going to want to do higher numbers of transactions. There's going to be people who want more computing power. There's going to be people who want very specialized transactors that demand a lot of resources. There's storage that can only, can only go around so much. And there's trade-offs with putting something on the XRP ledger mainnet. If you put something on the XRP ledger mainnet, every XRP ledger mainnet node has to store and relay those transactions. And that creates a scarce resource that we can only divide so far. It's a lot, but it is not infinite. Whatever capacity it has, that's all it has. Whatever capabilities it has, there are going to have to be capabilities that it doesn't have. No layer one is ever going to be everything to everyone. And if we don't want that to be a huge downside, if we don't want that to fragment the community, what we need is the ability to have asset portability so that XRP is not limited to the XRP ledger, or other issued assets aren't limited to their home ledgers. Because if you want to build up some other function on some other ledger, you have to be able to get real value onto it. If you have to build a new token or issue a new stablecoin or just build up the sort of whole asset infrastructure from the ground up, that's going to stifle innovation. The other thing that it's great for is to be able to test out things that might be useful on the main network. I'll talk about hooks later, but hooks is a good example of something that you might not want to adopt on the main network immediately because of some of those trade-offs. No matter how good you think it is, it has costs associated with those benefits. And it would be sort of risky in the extreme to just adopt it on the mainnet and hope that those trade-offs work out in our favor. The level of confidence that you need to have to risk harming the main network is very, very high.
And I think it's important to understand this. The level of confidence that you have to have in reference to putting something on the mainnet has to be very, very high. Which means if David Schwartz is doing Twitter spaces suggesting a vote yes for this AMM, this means the confidence in this thing is very, very high. He also said in there there's costs associated with putting anything on the mainnet, which says to me that him and his team have carefully thought out the risk versus the rewards. So I just hope that these devs and validators stop acting like David Schwartz and team, whoever put up this AMM, just pulled it out of their butt on Friday and offered it to the community of developers on Monday. And they're just being rushed into something. That doesn't make sense to me. And you could just listen to this guy all day long. But to suggest that just because David's saying something doesn't hold any water is just idiotic. It's idiotic to think that way. Pookie says, that's crazy profits, 2 to 3 billion per quarter. Yeah, do me a favor, guys, hit that like button. It seriously helps with the algorithm on YouTube. We always like to have, and we got it, just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream, so I appreciate that. And if you haven't had a chance to hit that like button yet, no worries, just collapse the chat, go smash that like, and come back and hang out with the crypto series. Look, I'm going to end this live stream on that note, listening to David. What a do this genius in motion. What a very, very smart guy. And I wanted to share that with you guys just again to kind of make my argument with last night's video. This is not something that they just came up with and just decided, let's harm the mainnet. Let's break this thing. That doesn't make sense. Hello, devs and validators. You're not being rushed. Do those whatever kind of tests and whatever kind of data you want, you know you're gonna get it. Do your test, bro. Do you? But stop saying you're being rushed. If you're being rushed, if you feel like you're being rushed, then that's you. You got what we call a you problem. You feel like you're being rushed. Unless you got receipts, you got some emails, some texts, some phone calls of David and his team saying, what are you waiting for? You need to vote yes on this. If you don't got that. It's nothing to see here. All right, fam. Look, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been a cool hang for sure. Pookie and MB checked in. OMC and Jody, Kyle, Timor. I appreciate you guys. Rodwell, No Brega, Billionaire H, Jackson Knox checked in. I appreciate you checking in. Keyless checked in as well. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all of my live stream and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay though, because you and I, we're already winning. Ha ha! I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.